Today we are doing a easy 10-step makeup routine.
That's the way I like it. Yeah, that's the way I like it. Gonna smile from underneath Gucci's. That's the way I like it.
Welcome to my channel. My name is Courtney. I'm a beauty creator and I am so happy you are here. If you're new, welcome. If you are returning, thank you so much for joining in again. I appreciate you times a million, and we have a really fun video planned out for the day. If you follow me, you know I do my makeup on live all the time. So today I decided that I would record a video for you showing you exactly the steps I like to do when making the perfect base for makeup so you guys could recreate it at home. If you are someone that really struggles with getting a perfect routine down, or you think it's really complicated, or the videos always have a million products and you only want to start with maybe just a few 10, this routine is going to be perfect for you. The first step that we're going to start off with is primer. Primer can look very different for everybody. It can also look very different depending on the type of foundation you have. We are going to start off by breaking down the two types of primers that you could potentially have. Number one is a water-based primer, and number two is a silicone-based primer. If you're not sure which one you have, you can go ahead to Google, type it in, and ask them which type of primer you have, and this will be a very good indicator if your primer mixes well with your foundation. If you're looking at me and you're like, girl, I don't have primer at home, you can easily just use your moisturizer to start as a base for your makeup. Moisturizing, skincare is all really good for a perfect base. It hydrates the face and it gets you off on the right foot for the makeup. So the primer that I'm starting off with today is the Smashbox Photo Finish. I absolutely love this primer. It is a silicone based product and I think it works really well with the foundation that I'm going to use today. I start off with putting a little bit on my finger and putting it across my cheeks, a little on the forehead, a bit on the chin, and a dab on the nose. Then we're going to rub it in, making sure we get as much as possible. You don't need to overuse primer. You just want to use just enough to cover most of your face, and you want to make sure you're really blending it in well. And just like that, step one is done. Moving on to step number two, you are going to put on your foundation. The type of foundation you use is completely up to you. If you want to use a skin tint, if you want to use low coverage, medium coverage, full coverage, completely up to you and your preference on what kind of glam you are choosing for the day. Today, we are going to be using the Giorgio Armani foundation. I absolutely love the coverage on this and I think this is such a silky foundation. So I applied the product to my face. My application of choice is going to be a brush. This is the Sephora 60 Pro brush. I absolutely love the brushes. You can also use your fingers, a beauty blender, a sponge, whatever you feel best. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend this in. Okay, so we've blended in the foundation. I think my color is getting a little light because I'm like, this is a little orange, but we're working with it, okay? We're working with what we got. Now moving on to step three, we are going to add contour to the face. Once again, the type of contour you use is completely up to you. Do you want to use liquid? Do you want to use cream? Do you want to use powder? It's your choice. Whatever your preference is, whatever mixes well with your foundation is what I suggest you to use. I am going to be using the Rare Beauty contour to contour my face today. This was just sent to me in a PR package and I absolutely love it. And I'm going to be using my Makeup Forever brush to blend it in together. And we're going to use this angled side right here. So we're just going to put one dot on and we're going to blend this in. We're just blending it in. We're going to do the same to the other side. One dot goes a long way. We're going to put a dot on the nose and one on the eye. And this is what it looks like after I contour. Contouring is supposed to create shadows where you would like it to look more structured. So I like to add mine on the forehead, on the higher points of the cheeks, and on the nose through the eyes. Moving on to step four, we are going to be concealing. I like to use two different concealer shades, but only one is necessary. You can use a shade lighter than your foundation, or you can go even brighter with something that's 2 shades lighter. I am using the Hourglass Concealer as my concealer of choice today. I'm going to put 2 dots underneath the eye, not directly underneath the eye, but a little bit lower so we don't have as much creasing, and a little on the ends of the eye. I am now taking my Makeup by Mario brush, number F5. Then we're just gonna blend this on in small tapping motions all across under the eye where you would like to brighten, a little bit on the sides of the nose, closer to underneath the eye, all the way outwards. I'm gonna go in with the other side of my Makeup Forever brush and just blend in any harsh corners, and you can do the same with your beauty blender or sponge. And look at that versus that. Perfect. We're gonna blend this side in. The point of concealing is to hide any blemishes, to brighten areas, and I want to brighten a few more additional areas. If you're just beginning, you can start with just under the eye. That's like the most basic place. But if you want to take it up a notch, you can conceal the bridge of your nose to bring some brightness to it. You can also brighten the center of your forehead. If you want to go under the cheeks to give a bit more of a chiseled look, absolutely up to you. But I'm gonna add a little to my forehead and a little on the bridge of my nose. And I'm just gonna tap very lightly and bring that upwards. And it doesn't have to be perfect, you know? As long as you continuously blend, it will always turn out very well. We're gonna take that Makeup Forever brush again and just blend out any harsh lines that we see. And we can also take our contouring brush and add a little bit of color anywhere we feel like we added too much concealer. There we go. How are we looking? Because I love a bright under eye, I am going to take a slightly brighter concealer and add just a dot to the center, well, in the inner corner of my eye, and we are just going to blend that in. This is for a super bright, snatched under eye look. Gorge. Moving on to step 5, we are going to add a blush. Now, this can be a whole separate video, but depending on the face shape is where you want to put the placement of your blush. I like to put mine up here because I have a longer face, but if you have maybe a wider face and you want to emphasize maybe the apples of your cheeks and have more of like a flushed look, you can also add them maybe going downwards. You can add them on the apples of your cheeks. It's totally up to you. You can add some on your nose. Blush is fun and it's so colorful, so wherever you think it would be cute, you can add it. Even add it to your forehead, wherever you like. I'm going in with another Rare Beauty product, and this is in the shade Happy. I'm going to start off with just a dot. And using my Anisa Beauty blush brush, I'm going to blend that in. Today, I decided to go with a very bubbly pink color. We're going to add some to the other side and just blend that in. If you are only using cream blush or liquid blush, you can add a little bit more to compensate for the fact that you aren't going to layer on powder blush afterwards. For the sake of this video, we are only going to be using liquid blush. So we are going to add a touch more. I am someone who really likes to drag the blush through my eye. If you struggle with doing eye looks, I think this is a really good option. And we are done with our blush. After doing our blush, I like to opt to do brows next. We are going to be using my Patrick Ta brow pencil. It's actually on its last leg, so let's see how much we can get out of this. This is literally all I have left on it. We're going to take the brush side and just brush our brows up. I like to start with lining the underneath and drawing out how long I want that wing to be. And then I go in and make hair-like strokes. Perfect. We're going for a very natural brow today. Done with that. Now, disclaimer, this is optional. This is an optional step. You do not have to do it, but it does pop up later on. One of our steps later in the routine is finishing our makeup routine by setting it with setting spray. But if you've been noticing, I've only used liquid products so far. Something that I like to do is locking in all my liquid products, all my cream products with setting spray before moving on to my powders. If you don't want to do this, you do not have to, but it is my suggestion, and it's an optional, it's a bonus step, okay? So I'm gonna take my setting spray. I'm going to lock in all of my makeup. Moving on to number 7, we are going to add our powder. I am taking a powder puff and I'm taking my setting powder. This is Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm just tapping it in. We're going to put any excess powder on our wrists, and we are going to tap underneath our eyes. We're going to do the other eye, forehead, around the mouth. I like to do the eyes. And I also like to do underneath the contour. After you add on your powder with your powder puff, you are going to use a fluffy brush and brush it all off. If you don't have a powder puff, you can use a brush to add everything on. It's the same thing, so don't worry too much. We're gonna wipe off all the excess powder. This is still going on step 7 with our powders. I am going to take a bronzer powder and add it to the face. I believe powders are your loose setting powder, your bronzing powder, your blush powder. This is the step where you would add all that on. You don't necessarily need to add bronzer, but it is nice and just gives you a little bit of warmth back to your face. I'm gonna go in with the Pat McGrath bronzer, and I'm gonna use this big fluffy Sephora brush, and we are just going to add some of that warmth back to the face. So bronzy. Moving on to step 8, we are going to apply our setting spray. You can take a setting spray of your choice. It can be a dewy setting spray, a matte setting spray. This is just the step where I think it fits best. Moving on to step 9, we are going to put on our mascara. The mascara I'm using today is Big Deal Paradise by L'Oreal, and I'm going to apply that on. Okay, so I just added my mascara, which was step 9, and now we are going to finish it off with step 10, lips. This is such a fun step and is super easy. Whatever your favorite color is, your favorite lip liner, favorite lip gloss, lipstick, you can add that on. You're just going to probably need a Q-tip or a cotton pad. You're going to need to wipe off any foundation that has gotten on your lips. Today, I'm going to be using the NARS lipstick in the shade Laguna. And this is just kind of a sheer brown glitter, something very light and transparent, just a little color. And that is it. You are done with your 10-step makeup routine. We started off with primer. We moved on to foundation, and we contoured. We moved on to concealer. We added some blush. We moved on to brows. We did our powders. We added setting spray. Then we did mascara, and we finished off with a beautiful lip. Clap for yourself. You did it. You did an amazing job. You look beautiful, and you know just a little bit more than you did when you started this video. I hope you guys enjoy your finished look. I am so happy to be sharing this with you guys and helping anyone who may have been struggling with their routine before. I think this is a very simple routine broken down. Hopefully my explanations made a little bit of sense or helped you learn why you do things before others. If you would like an even more in-detail routine, maybe a nighttime routine, maybe a beach day look, maybe something that is with a skin tint and is a little bit lighter on the products, maybe you want a full-on glam, let me know. I will be happy to do it. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys would like, you could hit subscribe, give a little like, maybe comment down below if this helped, or maybe a step I might have forgotten, or if you switch your steps around. You let me know. I'm always happy to learn and try out new things. I love you guys so much. I'm so happy you're here, and I hope you have an excellent rest of your week. I love you. Bye.